and welcome back to GK Today. I am Sana and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 6th of December 2022. Before we move ahead, let me tell you that today the pattern has slightly been changed, and first of all we'll discuss a question, then taking a keyword from that particular question we will revise at least 2 to 3 related news. Okay, so today we'll not do our revision section at the end of the lecture, and this is only a trial, and if you not like it then definitely we'll come back to our former pattern. Okay, so let's start with the session. Which institution manufactures the advanced light helicopter Mk3 Squadron 840? So Indian Coast Guard advanced light helicopter Mk3 Squadron 840 was recently commissioned by our Director General V.S. Pathania at the ICG Air Station in Chennai. Okay, and these helicopters are indigenously manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So they have different type of special features. For example, advanced radar, then they have the Shakti engines, advanced communication system, etc. for reconnaissance. Okay, and the total of 16 ALH Mk3 aircraft have been inducted till now in the Indian Coast Guard in a phased manner. Fine. So these type of helicopters have been manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Now our keyword is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Let's see at least 2 to 3 news why HAL was in news these days. First of all, aircraft HTT-40 has recently been unveiled during the 12th edition of DEF Expo, right? And these aircraft have been developed and manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. You have to tell me what was the venue for the 12th edition of DEF Expo. Do let me know in the comments. Now, apart from it, recently the first indigenously developed multi-role light combat helicopter named as Prachand was inducted into the Indian Air Force, right? And of the 15 helicopters brought from LCP, 10 are for Indian Air Force and the rest 5 are for Indian Army. Fine. And important thing is the Prachand helicopters have been developed and manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Okay. Now our next question is, India signed Economic Development Cooperation Fund Loan Agreement for Intelligent Transport System with which country? So recently India and the country South Korea have signed the arrangement regarding Economic Development Cooperation Fund Loan of 245 billion Korean won. Okay, and this agreement is for the establishment of Intelligent Transport System on Nagpur-Mumbai Super Communication Expressway project in Delhi. Okay, and South Korea was designated as India's official development assistance partner for development cooperation in the year 2016. Okay, so we have signed this particular agreement with country South Korea. Now our keyword is South Korea. Let's see why South Korea was in news these days. First of all, recently we have seen that IUCN Leaders Forum was concluded at Jeju in South Korea, right? And here Don't forget that Hyderabad has received the World Green City Award 2022. In which category? So it won in the category of Living Green for economic growth and inclusive growth. Fine. So important thing is Hyderabad has won the World Green City Award, and this forum was conducted at Jeju in South Korea. Now next news is in the month of August, I think, South Korea launched its first spacecraft to the moon, right? And this spacecraft was launched on SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket. Important thing is, what was the mission name? So the mission name was Danuri, right? So you can be asked that Danuri is the mission of which country? So answer would be South Korea. Next question says, what is the gross GST revenue collected in the month of November 2022? So the gross GST revenue that was collected in the month of November 2022 is 1.46 lakh crore rupees. And the revenues for the month of November are 11% higher than the GST revenues in the same month if we compare it with the last year. And out of the total revenue, CGST is 25,681 crore rupees, SGST is 32,651 crore rupees, and IGST is 77,103 crore rupees, and the cess is 10,433 crore rupees. This data is not very relevant. You can ignore it if you want, but important thing is the gross GST revenue that has been collected in the month of November is 1.46 lakh crore rupees. Now our keyword is important facts and figures. Let's see important figures that can be asked in your exam. First of all, few days back we have talked about CRISIL, and recently it has decreased the India's GDP forecast for financial year 23 from 7.3% to now 7%, right? Now you have to mention the full form of CRISIL in the comment section. Second, we'll be talking about OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and recently it has also reduced the India's GDP forecast to 6.6% in 2022, and earlier they have predicted it to be 6.9%. Okay, and don't forget that India has overtaken the UK to become the 5th largest economy in the world, right? So which are the top 5 largest economies in the world? US, China, Japan, Germany, and now the 5th one is India. Fine. Next question says, Wassenaar Arrangement, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which field? Actually, why it was in news? Because India will assume the chairmanship of the plenary session of the Wassenaar Arrangement for a year on 1st of January 2023. And 5 years ago, India joined this 42-member voluntary export control regime, which actually monitors the transfer of conventional weapons and the dual-use goods. Okay, so you have to remember that we will assume the chairmanship of Wassenaar Arrangement for the next year, and we will take this position from 1st of January 2023. Okay, now let's talk about few important science and technology related current affairs. First of all, recently we have seen that ISRO has conducted the 200th consecutive successful launch of RH-200 sounding rocket, right? So you can be asked that the RH-200 sounding rocket belongs to which country? Answer would be India. Then also we have seen that the World Health Organization has changed the name monkeypox virus to now Mpox. Okay, so for 1 year both the names would be acceptable, but after 1 year this name would be phased out. Then the next news is recently Agnikul Cosmos set up India's very first private launch pad at the ISRO campus at Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so you can be asked that who sets up India's very first private launch pad at ISRO campus. So this would be Agnikul Cosmos. Next is, which institution released the State of Global Water Resources 2021? So World Meteorological Organization released a report titled as State of the Global Water Resources 2021, and as per the report, the volume of water that is available in the Ganga and the groundwater in the river basin reduced significantly between 2002 and 2021. And this report has also identified several other global hotspots that show the same trend. Fine. So this is World Meteorological Organization. You have to tell me the headquarters of this organization lies in which country. Now let's talk about few important reports. First of all, we know that the Global Prime Cities Index has recently been released by the Knight Frank, right? And in this, the rank of Mumbai city was 22. Okay. Second news is, recently Narendra Modi has topped the list of world's most popular leaders with 77% approval rating, right? At second, there was the President of Mexico, and at third, there is the Prime Minister of Australia. Who is that? Mr. Anthony Albanese. You have to tell me who is currently the President of Mexico. Do let me know in the comments. Now the third news is, recently the Network Readiness Index has been released, in which India's rank was 61. Okay. Singapore was ranked at second position, and then it is further followed with Sweden at third. Okay, sorry, I forgot to tell you which country was at the top. So the first country was US. US was first, Singapore was second, and Sweden was at the third. India's rank was 61. Okay. Next is, which department launched a nationwide campaign for promotion of the digital life certificate? So Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare has launched a nationwide campaign for promotion of the digital life certificate for the central government pensioners. And what is the objective of this particular campaign? So it is to promote the use of face authentication technology and the digital life certificate. Why? To ensure the transparency and the ease of usage. Okay. Now here our keyword is campaign. Let's see different campaigns that were in use. First of all, there is a campaign named as In Our Lifetime campaign, right? And it was launched by our country India at COP27. So this is a great way to encourage youth to become the ambassadors of sustainable lifestyle practices basically. Okay. Then second campaign is Nai Chetna, and it has been launched by Ministry of Rural Development. Okay. So it was launched on occasion of the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women, that is observed on 25th of November. Okay. And it was also launched under National Livelihood Mission. What was the theme for this particular campaign this year? So it was gender-based violence. Fine. So you can be asked that Nai Chetna is the campaign that has been launched by which ministry? So answer would be Ministry of Rural Development. Next is, which state or the union territory is the host of International Gita Mahotsav 2022? So Indian President Draupadi Murmu has recently inaugurated the International Gita Mahotsav in Kurukshetra in the state of Haryana. And this year Nepal is the partner country, while Madhya Pradesh state is the partner state of the event. Fine. And also Draupadi Murmu has launched Nirogi Haryana scheme, which is a kind of health checkup scheme and an e-ticketing system of public road transport facilities. Fine. So International Gita Mahotsav 2022 has been hosted by Haryana state. Now let's talk about important host and the conferences. First of all, recently the 7th edition of Global Tech Summit has been hosted by New Delhi. Then the host of first G20 Sherpa meeting in India is Udaipur, right? And the third news is the GeoSmart India 2022 summit was inaugurated recently in Hyderabad, right? So these are the few important hosts in the conferences. Next question is, who is the Foreign Secretary of India as of 2022? Actually, the tenure of our Foreign Secretary, Mr. Vinay Mohan Kwatra, has been extended for next 16 months beyond his date of superannuation. Okay, and this is informed by Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bagchi. Okay, and talking about Vinay Mohan Kwatra, he assumed the charge as the new Foreign Secretary of the country on 1st of May. Right? So who's the current Foreign Secretary of India? So this is Mr. Vinay Mohan Kwatra. Now let's talk about the recent appointments. First is Mr. Sanjay Kumar. Recently he has been appointed as the Secretary of Optimization of School Education. Okay. Second name is Mr. Prasant. So recently he has been elected as the new president of AAAI. What is this? Advertising Agencies Association of India. Okay. Then the third name is PT Usha. Recently she has become the first woman president of Indian Olympic Association. Right. And the fourth name is IIT Guwahati Director Mr. T.G. Sitaram. Recently he has been appointed as the chairman of AICTE. What is this? All India Council for Technical Education. Okay. Next question is, after the recent changes in pre-matric scholarship for the minority students, the scholarship is available for which classes? So the government's pre-matric scholarship to the students of minority communities who are studying in classes 1 to 8 is being now discontinued, and now the students in classes 9 and 10 will be eligible for this scholarship by the Ministry of Minority Affairs from 2022 to 23. And don't forget that under the Right to Education Act of 2009, the government provides free and compulsory elementary education, that means classes 1 to 8 to each and every child. Okay, so your correct answer would be class 9 and 10. You have to tell me which article in the Indian Constitution deals with right to education. To let me know in the comments. Okay, now let's talk about the different states that were in news. First of all, recently the Meghalaya cabinet has approved the mental health and social care policy, if you remember, right? And this is the very first northeastern state to do so. Okay. Second is Bihar. Recently Bihar has launched the Har Ghar Ganga Jal program. Okay. And third is Odisha government. Recently Odisha has launched an anemia eradication program named as AMLAN. Full form is Anemia Mukt Laksh Abhiyan. Okay. So you can be asked that AMLAN program is related to which state? Answer would be Odisha. Last question says, which institution implements the Community Innovator Fellowship program? So Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog has recently announced the launch of applications for Community Innovator Fellowship. So it is a kind of initiative of the Atal Innovation Vision in collaboration with UNDP India to facilitate knowledge building and provide infrastructure support to the aspiring community innovators. And at present there are 22 community innovator fellows who are being incubated. Fine. So correct answer would be Niti Aayog. What is UNDP? United Nations Development Program. Now here our keyword would be Niti Aayog. Let's see few important things why Niti Aayog was in news. First of all, few days back Niti Aayog has released a report named as Carbon Capture, Utilization and Storage Policy Program. Right? Then Niti Aayog has recently hosted the inaugural edition of the Shunya Forum in New Delhi. Why? To commemorate the first edition of Shunya campaign. Can you tell me Shunya campaign is related to which particular thing? And the next news is Niti Aayog has declared the Haridwar as the best aspirational district, right? And Haridwar lies in Uttarakhand. So now an additional allocation of 3 crore rupees will be made to this particular city named as Haridwar. Okay. So that's it for today. And now you have to give me the feedback in the comment section whether you like it or not. Okay. So accordingly, we'll proceed ahead. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide, you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today. And we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. And please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Wassenaar signing off.